I have heard so many women on TikTok and even on these YouTube streets about women in their 30s and even as young as 25 talk about how they feel so behind in life, or they're suffering from a quarter life crisis or some type of 30-year-old crisis or whatnot. And I'm here to tell you that you have so much living to do. Life is not over. And it reminded me of a book that I like to read yearly called The Alchemist. And this book has been inspiring to me for years. And I have notes. I have notes. And if you haven't read The Alchemist, it is by Pueblo Coelho. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. I always get it incorrect. But it is a story about a young shepherd boy who is going off on an adventure to find his path. And along the way, he runs into different people that are helping him along his journey. So, as I said earlier, I read this yearly because it keeps me motivated. And as a person who's over 40, who's navigated this thing we call life, it is so important to understand and to know that you're going to have changes in this life, and that you are living here on earth and you can live life the way you want it. You can live life the way you want it. And here are some gems that I've always been inspired by. And I've got lots of notes. I keep a notebook on hand whenever I'm reading a good book. And so one of them is that we have to be prepared for change. And I know we've all heard the saying that the one thing that's constant in life is change. That's what we know for sure. So we want to be prepared for that. The second thing is recognize the change in seasons. For example, this may be a season where you may have been let go from a job. Perhaps this is the time to maybe get that certificate, or get rest, or take care of an elderly parent, or go on vacation, or what have you. There are seasons of change, and that's constant, and it's going to take place. So I like to reframe any changes that occur in my life as a season of change, and that new seasons are on the horizon, just like winter, spring, summer, and fall. The third thing is, and I have a lot, I don't even know why I'm enumerating, but I'm just going to go down the list. Prepare for what I want, just as the shepherd prepared for the beautiful girl. You always want to be prepared. You always want to know, have an idea of what you want in life, even if it's writing it in a journal. Because remember, you're on a journey to find your personal legend. And I wouldn't say necessarily purpose, because purpose does change over time. And so it's important to be prepared. Another thing is the possibility of a dream come true. Don't ever let anybody deter you from your dreams. I've always said, I don't believe in fantasies, but I definitely believe in dreams. And why not fantasies? Because it's sort of like, I compare it to fairy tales, like Disney fairy tales. And I love a good fairy tale. I do. I really do. I love the princess stories and all of that. But I do believe in making and having dreams and working towards them to make them come true. Another good point that I love to just concentrate on in this story is the world's greatest lie is believing our lives are driven by fate. And I know so many people talk about, oh, it's fate that brought me to you, or it's fate that brought me to this point. In some ways that could be true, sure, but I think that, like in the next quote, it says, some people say things so strange that you don't know how to continue the conversation. Some people say things so strange that you don't know how to continue the conversation. And then it's knowing what I've always wanted to accomplish. Young people realize that their personal legend and aren't afraid to dream. And another thing is to realize your personal legend, and don't be afraid to dream. But then they can convince themselves that it cannot be done. Either it's that inner person that convinces you, oh, you really can't do that. Who says that you can take a sabbatical? And I am big on sabbaticals and things. And so it's like you have a person who says, oh, no, you can't get that new job. Oh, no, you can't quit that job. Or no, you can't go back to school or do this. But there are people who, you know, that will make you feel like you can't accomplish big things in life or doing things that you set out to do. But as it says here, young people realize that their personal legend and aren't afraid to dream. But as they become older, there's a mysterious force that convinces them that it cannot be done. And it's so funny that as we age, as we get older, the more fearful we become because we learn new things, we acquire new information. This is what happens because the more we know, the more afraid we are. For example, if you're going near a hot stove as a young person, if you're like 2 or 3 years old, you don't know not to go near that hot stove until an adult is there to say, hey, either say, hey, don't go near that hot stove. It'll burn you. You don't know that yet because kids are adventurous. They're wanting to see, they're curious. And I think we lose that as we get older. So stay curious. When you want something, all of the universe conspires to give it to you. Now, isn't that something? I know that I have experienced this in my life myself. It's like divine connection. It's like when I'm wanting to accomplish a thing, it's like everything comes to me. For example, I remember getting let go of a job. It was my dream job, and during the recession, the Great Recession of 2007, 2008. And that was a time when I was let go, and I was like, oh my gosh, I kind of wanted it because it was time, but I said, oh gosh, I was exhausted. I was commuting. It was hustle and bustle. And it's the culture that I wanted. I no longer desire that at all in any way, shape, or form. But it's a thing to where, I had been saying, I want to leave. I want to leave. And then I finally got that break to where I was able to just rest and travel. And then I had a job to where I could do an international travel for a stint, and that was great. When you want something, all of the universe conspires to give it to you. And then the next thing is everything in life has a price. Nothing can hold you back except for yourself. A lot of times we get in our own way. And that's why I stress to really write it down, have a journal, have even a vision board, because I have had a vision board for over a decade, and I have accomplished, I would say, I'm willing to say 90% of what's on that vision board. And it's been way over a decade. And I would admonish anyone who sees a vision for themselves to do that, even to put it someplace, whether it's on your phone. And I know sometimes they could get they're a little gaudy, and mine is still where I can see it, and I have it on my phone too, so that it can always be present in my mind and in front of me. But have it somewhere where only you can see it. Even if it's somewhere like in your closet, put it prominently in a place to where when you're picking out your outfit for the day, you immediately see it. And another big point about this book is the principle of favorability. And one of the things that I had written down, God has prepared a path for everyone to follow. I just have to follow it. And whether you're a believer or not, there is a path for you. Trust the process. Trust the path that you're on to make things happen. Okay? Trust yourself. Trust the journey. Because it is a journey. Take the road less traveled. Because just because it's not popular in your immediate group, who cares? Do it anyway. Do it anyway. And I believe that God has prepared a path for everyone to follow. The secret to happiness is not forgetting about the oil. Now, the shepherd boy thought about his sheep, and those who have money, they're never really alone. So offer something that you don't have yet. Don't be afraid to offer something that be afraid of offering something that you don't have yet. So along your path, you're going to come into obstacles, but don't let them turn you away, because there's going to be some challenges. The point is never to give up. And one of the things that I loved about this, the shepherd boy, was that there was a person along his journey that betrayed him. And so he got upset. And one of the things that I drew out of this was to remind myself that whenever there's discouragement from another person or even a situation, is to remember that I am still significant, and that I'm not insignificant. See what is actually happening. And ask clear questions. You must know what you want in order to have that clarity. Having clarity is so important. It's about you. Write your goals and values down. And I always use the rule of 3. The rule of 3 is so important. So whatever it is you want to do, switch careers, travel, do whatever it is that you want to do for your peace of mind and whatever your heart is telling you to do. And do it. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Do it, because you have a lot of life to live. And the point is not to care about what other people think, because remember, you're on this journey, not anybody else. You're the one that has to live with yourself at the end of the day. And another thing is clear your mind of negative thoughts. Clear your mind of those negative thoughts and save a portion of what you earn. The one major thing that I know as a young person, especially if you're in your 20s and in your 30s, even if you're in your 40s, is that time is on your side. Save a portion of what you earn, and try not to get so many things. And right now, I know that I have learned to live on less. It's not to say that you don't have nice quality things or quality items, and I'm no way disparaging the fast fashion that's out there. That is out there, unfortunately, because of the price of things being so high. But when it comes down to it, you don't have to buy everything. Nobody is looking at you like that or caring about you wearing the same thing over and over again. Nobody cares. So save a portion of what you earn and invest that money. Open up a brokerage account. And there are 3 brokerage accounts that I am not a financial expert, by the way, or advisor, and I'm not your advisor or anything else. But I would say, save a portion of your money. You want it to grow? Open up a Charles Schwab or a Fidelity account, a Vanguard account. Open up one of those accounts to watch your money grow. Okay? Do your research. Do your Google. And even grab a hold of one of your friends if you would like to, that's encouraging, so that you all can go along on the journey. But remember, the journey, it is yours. but it doesn't hurt to have some encouragement along the way, some wisdom too, and then some encouragement. Take advantage of the opportunities presented to you, the law of favorability, and always be ready. It goes back to that preparedness. So, for example, in the story, there was a crystal merchant that the young shepherd boy ran into. And the crystal merchant, he never achieved his personal legend. And he was trying to discourage the shepherd boy. He was afraid, so he thought that he would discourage the young boy. And see, sometimes you run into people that are not in agreement. And that's where that aligning, that divine connection, that alignment will come in at. You can't tell everybody everything unless they're on the same path as you. Or not even necessarily on the same path, but they're kind of aligned to where they get you. They get you. And one of the people that I know that is such an encouragement in my life, and my best friend, is my little sister. She gets me. I get her. And it's important to have somebody who is in alignment with your goals and who gets you. Even if they're not on that exact same path, they get what you're saying because they're on their own path. But this crystal merchant was trying to just discourage the shepherd boy. So, and also, before I wrap up, because there's going to be a part 2 to this especially, not everyone will see your dream come true in the same way because they may not be unhappy or things may not be going right for them, and they'll try to put obstacles in your way or even question why you're doing the thing you're doing. For example, well, how's that going to work? If you say you want to travel abroad, or say you want to find another job, or say you want to even leave your job with savings or something and you want to travel or just sit and do absolutely nothing and binge TV all day, I give you permission. You will find that some people will be like, oh my gosh, well, what are you going to do all day? Or who do you think you are? What makes you think you can do that? Remember, not everyone is going to see your dream come true in the same way. So I will say this, and this was another bullet point before I wrap up. Do not let anything or anyone discourage you from achieving your goal. No one. I don't care if you're partnered or unpartnered up with somebody. Don't let anyone discourage you from meeting your goal. Because at the end of the day, and I'm going to tell you, I often bike in my neighborhood, and there is a cemetery that is up the street from me that I always pass by. And I often look up over there and I just think, how many dreams, how many ideas, how many unrealized dreams are now buried because of the judgments of others or caring about what other people thought. Don't let anyone discourage you. So I hope that wherever you are in life right now, however you were brought to this video, it's for you. It's for you. And there's definitely going to be a part 2 to this. And by the way, my name is Daria. This is a lifestyle channel. I have a lifestyle blog, but this is basically just about life, and anyone who is experiencing dreaming or want to create vision boards or just have a dream for themselves, and you just feel like you're behind in life, or you feel like no one is there for you, or that no one is listening, or no one is in alignment with what you want to do, this is the channel for you. And I hope that I'm still on a journey, because life's a journey. And that's why I love reading The Alchemist. So I hope you will tune in for the next video. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you will not miss another video that I post here. And in the meantime, I will see you in the next video. Bye.